Hi, it's Vicky here. Welcome to the 6th day of my Christmas cards featuring Penny Black. Today I'll be using this cute little stamp set, which is called Fairy Wishes, and as my card base I'm using Peppermint cardstock by Basil. This is one of my favorite embossing folders. I got it ages ago and I use it every winter. My card base is a standard card that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and the white panel is just an inch smaller than the card base. So that leaves a nice red border all around. So that's my card base, and let's move on to stamping the little girl. I'm stamping the little fairy using Memento black ink because I'm going to use my Copics. And here is a tip: if you use your white gel pen and add just a small dot on her eyes, it will bring her to life. And now I'm going to use my scissors and cut around my image, but since there are some small details like the stick of her wand, I'm not going to cut that out, but I'll just add a piece of thin paper later on. Now I'm using my craft knife to cut out that small detail. And now let's have some fun. I'm going to use dry fine glitter by Stickles Ranger. But first I'm going to cover my surface with a piece of scrap paper. I'll use the Stardust sticker, and now I'm going to apply a thin layer of glue all over her bottom of the dress on the white area. And then I'm going to apply the glitter, and hopefully it will stick only where the glue is. Now if you tap the image, all the excess will fall, and you can also use a soft brush and brush off the excess. I'll continue to do that on the top of her dress as well as on her wings. And for that little star on her wand, I'm going to use the exact same process, but this time I'm going to use gold stickles. Now I'll be using this paper pad, and I'm just choosing a couple of patterned papers. I'll be cutting out some rectangles, and then I'll make presents. I always like to ground figures on my cards so that they don't float. Well, in this case, the little girl could float because she has wings, but anyway. So I made these presents and I'm using foam squares. I've also used some baker's twine and wrap around the presents to look like ribbon. That's how I created my ground, and now I'm just use foam squares again on the back of the girl and stick her on top of the presents. If you look closer, you'll see that that little star doesn't have a stick, so her wand is unfinished. I forgot at this point that this was missing, so you'll see me later on that I'll just cut out a small strip of paper and I'll just glue it down to correct the error. And just for a change, I decided to add my sentiment on the inside of the card. So I've used again my embossing tool, and now I'm doing something that many of you might freak out. I've cut out my sentiment in half just because I wanted to stamp the sentiment in two lines. You don't have to cut the stamp if you don't like to. You can always ink up half of the sentiment and then stamp it and go on with the other half. And that's the card for today. I hope you had fun and got inspired. I'll see you all tomorrow with another card.